Hi guys, Hare Krishna everyone. Today, without further delays, we will be directly diving deep into the Bhagavad Gita itself. We're on text number 25, chapter number 1, Observing the Armies. Bhishma Drona Pramukatha Sarve Shamam Chamahi Kashitam Uvacha Partha Pashyetan Samavetan Kuruniti. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, "Just behold, Parth, all the Kurus assembled here." As the super soul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going on in the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Rishikesh in this connection indicates that he knew everything. And the word Parth, or the son of Kunti, or Pritha, is also similarly significant in reference to Arjun. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjun that because Arjun was the son of Pritha, the sister of his own father Vasudev, he had agreed to be the charioteer of Arjun. Now, what did Krishna mean when he told Arjun to behold the Kurus? Did Arjun want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pritha. The mind of Arjun was thus predicted by the Lord in a friendly joking. Tatra pashyat sthitan partha पित्रानथा पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भृतान् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखिंस्तथा स्वसुरान् सुहृदाश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरापि. There Arjuna could see, within the midst of the armies of both parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers in law and well wishers. On the battlefield, Arjuna could see all kinds of relatives. He could see persons like Bhurishrava, who were his father's contemporaries, grandfathers like Bhishma and Somdat, teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncles like Shalya and Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhan, sons like Lakshmana, friends like Ashwadhama, well-wishers like Kritavarma, etc. He could see also the armies which contained many of his friends. An samikshaya sa Kaunteya, Sarvan bandhun avasthitan, kripya paryavishto vishidan idam abravit. When the son of Kunti, Arjun, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Arjun uvacha दृष्टवेममं स्वजननं कृष्ण युयुत्सुमं समुपस्थितं सिद्धान्ति मम गात्राणि mukham cha parishyushyati. Arjun said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Any man who has a genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non devotee, however advanced he may be in maternal qualifications by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. As such, Arjun, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjun, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjun. Although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjun's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjun were not due to weakness, but due to his soft heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is said, therefore, Yashyashti bhaktir bhagvate akinchana sarvair gunestatra samasate sura हराव अभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथे नास्ति dhavato बहि. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attached by the glaring material energy. वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षाश् च जायते पाण्डीवमं श्रांशते हस्तात् त्वक् चैव परिधायते. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandhi is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. There are two kinds of trembling of body and two kinds of standing of the hair on end. Such phenomena occur either in great spiritual ecstasy or out of great fear under material conditions. There is no fear in transcendental realization. Arjuna's symptoms in this situation are out of material fear, namely loss of life. This is evident from other symptoms also. He became so impatient that his famous bow Gandhi was slipping from his hands. And because his heart was burning within him, he was feeling a burning sensation of the skin. All these are due to material conceptions of life. Nacha Shaknumi Avasthatumam Brahmativa Chame Mana Nimittani Chapashyami Viparitani Keshava. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. Due to his impatience, Arjun was unable to stay on the battlefield and he was forgetting himself on account of this weakness of his mind. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering condition of existence. Bhayam dvitya bhini veshata syat. Such fearlessness and loss of mental equilibrium takes place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjun envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The words nimittani vipartani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectations, he thinks, why am I here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjun is showing ignorance of his real self interest by Krishna's will. One's real self interest lies in Vishnu or in Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjun thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Nacha Shreyo Anupashyami Hatva Swajanam Ahave Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna Nacha Rajyam Sukhani Cha. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Without knowing that one's self interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the causes of material happiness. Arjun appears to have even forgotten the moral codes for a Kshatriya. It is said that two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to the spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjun is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook. He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjun has no kingdom. Arjun's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secluded life of frustration. Kim no Rajena Govinda, Kim Bhoge Jivitena Va, Yeshamarthe Kankashitam no, Rajyam Bhoga Sukhani Cha, Tai me Avasthita Yudhe, Pranams Tyaktava Dhanani Cha, Acharya Pitara Putras, Tatheva Cha Pitama, Matula Shwashura Potra, शाला संबंधिनास्तथा एता न हंतुम इच्छामि घ्नातपि मधुसूदना आपि त्रैलोक्य राज्यस्य हेतो किं नु माहि कृते निहत्या धार्त राष्ट्रान्ना का प्रीति स्या जनार्दना. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed in this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers in law, grandsons, brothers in law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will be derived from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Arjun has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjun indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govind is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet. But when one takes the opposite way, namely, when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govind without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govind, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. Arjun's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends, relatives, but Arjun fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjun did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument of Krishna. This fact is disclosed in the following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjun did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers, but it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill the miscreants, although Arjun wanted to excuse them. So, the next part we will be reading tomorrow. I hope reading Bhagavad Gita is helpful to you all. I am finding it really, really interesting. Although I have read it before, it is always better to keep on reading it again and again because it doesn't enter you the same way it entered last time. Just like a quote, you never enter the same river twice because new water always flows in. So, the same way, you are always learning something new whenever you are opening it again. So, it is a learning experience for me also and for you also. Let's meet tomorrow. Bye. Hare Krishna.